The Joint Chamber of Commerce had met yesterday to discuss the prevailing forex issues in Sri Lanka and its impact on business activity as well as the economy. They are of the view that the prevailing fuel supply disruption and power interruptions are affecting all sectors of the economy. Further, they also highlight what they call a significant shortage of raw material inputs needed for domestic and export production and the inability to pay suppliers on time. The Joint Chamber of Commerce expresses concern that the prevailing situation would reverse some of the gains seen recently in the tourism and export sectors. Concerns are also expressed on the livelihoods of the people in the SME sector as well as the daily wage earners being disrupted. In this backdrop, the 9 chambers demand that the government establish a market-driven pricing formula for fuel, gas and electricity, while also allowing flexibility on the exchange rate. They say that it is better to manage a situation of cost escalations compared to the present shortage of essential items, including foreign exchange. The next demand is that the immediate commencement of a preemptive foreign debt restructuring process in an orderly manner, involving both commercial and non-commercial debt. The chambers say that this process will soon provide breathing space to allocate the scarce dollars towards essential imports such as fuel and medicines. The Joint Chambers of Commerce also calls on the government to seek the support of the International Monetary Fund and formulate a reform program that they say would provide confidence to the market and the private sector with immediate effect. One particular expert believes that action should go beyond what's proposed by the chambers.
Going beyond and above these proposals, and also we should look at why we are at this kind of a crisis, and then how do we get out of this crisis in medium term and long term basis. And this is also important when we negotiate with the IMF. IMF will not impose conditions, but they require a program of action on our part. We have borrowed and invested and consumed and used for some other purposes. However, without adequate source of foreign exchange earnings, which means actually we need to focus more on exports and investment to get out of this problem on long-term basis. In fact, the crisis is also an important opportunity even for the electricity board and the petroleum corporation to restructure these public state-owned enterprises, even to invite the private sector to take part in these businesses of electricity generation, electricity transmission and distribution, as well as fuel supply and all other energy industries.
It is well documented that Sri Lanka requires around $500 million to source fuel, including power generation. That is roughly half of the foreign exchange the island manages to secure via exports per month. The government has been in talks with India to secure a $500 million fuel credit line. The Indian Oil Corporation says that under the facility, it will supply 12 to 13 parcels of fuel to Sri Lanka over the next 4 to 5 months against a tender issued by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation under the said Indian line of credit.
ලබන මාර්තු 18 වෙනිදා ඉඳලා ඉන්දියානු ක්‍රෙඩිට් ලයින් එන තෙල් ටික එනවා. එතකොට අපිට අප්‍රේල් මැයි වෙනකන් ඒ තෙල් ටික ඇති. ඊළඟට අපි කල්පනා කරන්න ඕනේ පිරිපහදුව නැවතවරක් ආරම්භ කළා පිරිපහදුවේ 150ක ධාරිතාව 100ක ධාරිතාවට ගත්තොත් රටේ තෙල් ප්‍රශ්නට විසඳෙනවා. ඒකට තියෙන ප්‍රධාන ප්‍රශ්නේ කොහොමද පිරිපහදුවට කූඩ් ලබා ගන්නේ. ඒක අපි රජයත් එක්ක කතා කරලා නැත්නම් ජාත්‍යන්තරත් එක්ක කතා කරලා ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳ ගන්න ඕනේ.
With people queuing up at pumps for fuel, a tanker with 28,300 metric tons of diesel and 9,000 metric tons of jet fuel reached the island this morning. The energy minister says it paid $39.3 million for the 2 consignments and they will be unloaded tomorrow morning. The ministry added that 37,300 metric tons of diesel consignment which was at the Colombo port is also being unloaded and the process is at its final stage. In any case, the government has vowed to enter their planned interruptions to power supply from tomorrow onwards.